Hello, everyone. Welcome to the EBM Scholars. This is the headquarters of opportunities and the way you can be able to share different things. And today we have a very special guest who is immigrant from Africa but lives in Canada. And we wanted to know more about life in Canada in the immigrant's perspective. So we'll be having a lot of questions, and she's here to share her experience and the overall life in Canada. And for people who want to go to developed world, it is better to hear from different people. We get different perspectives, different experiences, instead of just listening to EBM only or to someone alone. So this will be the best way. So welcome to the EBM Scholars channel today.
Thank you so much for having me. It is an honor to be interviewed by you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so before anything, I want you to introduce your name, and right now we are doing the interview. Where are you right now?
So my name is Tabitha. I'm original from Tanzania. I live in Canada right now. I'm a wife and a mom to 3 beautiful kids. Yeah, that's basically it.
And when you say a mother, and people have to understand, like, it's different from African context. When we talk about being a parent, yes, you have responsibility, but a child can go to boarding school. You can have a nanny, you can have whatever, house girl, house boy. You can start with that one. Can you explain your experience as a mother or as a parent in Canada? Or how is your experience? Do you have time to have a nanny or to have houseboy, maid, and giving those support?
That is a very good question, actually. You know, in Canada, it can be a little bit challenging when you have kids, just because the care for the kids is very expensive. Have a nanny, it's very expensive, and so basically there is no nanny here. You can't have a nanny or a housemaid or houseboy. You just have to do all of those things by yourself. You're gonna become a mom, a nanny, a housekeeper, a chef. All of that is just you. A cleaner, like everything you have to do. You just helping each other with your partner, just trying to figure out the way of manage that. And yeah, it's it's quite a bit something that I'm not gonna be complaining about it, just because I just kind of learned, and it made me more stronger than I would say if I was a mom in Tanzania, maybe I would not be stronger as I am here. I would rely on just nannies and homemade and housemaid and a chef or maybe even. So I think it's very challenging, but at the same time, it's like a lesson, and it just made me more stronger as a mom, just to get done everything.
And one of the things I usually tell people, as a parent in these countries, despite of being full-time 100%, the biggest reward is you can have opportunity to spend more time with your family, opportunity to guide your children more, to give your DNA in terms of your legacy, compared to the kids they grow up to go to school morning to evening, or they are just in boarding school. They come home, they stay just for you with 1 week, 2 weeks, and you are working all the full time. Yeah, so there is also a reward for that, if in the long run, if I can simply say that way.
Yeah, definitely. I actually love it. I think like just be home 24/7 and see their growth and their changing. Like I don't miss anything. It's just something special that most people, I think in Africa, like most mom, we all know, like, you can have a nanny even if you're not a rich, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so as a mom, just to have that bond of just be there 24/7, I love it, honestly. No complain about that. I'm just there is a time you'll be like, I want a break, like I had enough for the day. I want a break at least for 2 minutes. But you know what? You just suck it and take care of them. Or sometime I will call my husband. I'm like, I think today I had enough. Will you mind come home early so that you can help me with kids? And he's very good at that. So he'll just come home and help me watch the kids.
Yeah.
At least I can have a break.
Yeah. One of the questions people usually ask, it might not be in your experience, but just for the lifestyle you see, especially as a parent, to be a single mother is difficult no matter where you are, whether it's in Africa, whether it's here, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But how is a single mother being in Canada, per se? As we see, like, you have to be full-time yourself, and as if you are alone, you have to also to go into work, and you have talked about the daycare, and getting someone to help is very expensive. How do you prepare if someone asks the advice and is a single mother? How can you just advise that person with their life in general if they want to go to Canada?
You know what? I'm not a single mom, but and I don't think I can relate it to single moms. Just because I can have at least 2 hours of help from my husband.
Yes.
But all I can say, just do what you can, and what you can't, it's okay to not be able to do it all, and ask for help when you need it. Just ask for help, even from your friend, from your neighbor, even from, just basically anyone you think you have connection of, be able to get that help. Because sometimes I know it's very hard to be mom, dad. You have to go to work. You have to do all those things in the house. It can be a lot, and I think for immigrants, I would just say, be ready to come and do it all. You just need to be strong, and you just need to try your best to do as much as you can. And when you can't, it's okay. Ask for help. Even there is communities that they're around, in most Canada province. They have the communities that immigrants can go and meet new friends. As well, just they have even help. They have there is a place that you can switch, like, immigrant to immigrant, to help each other through the day. Like, I can watch your kids and you can watch mine, and sometimes you can just if you need someone to talk, like a therapist, if you need basically there is different helps when you go to immigrant offices that you can be able to get help. So I can say, just if you are new and you are a new mother at new country, just try to find the immigrant resource that I've got. Yeah. So try to find the resource to be able to help you and tell you what they offer, so that you can get a little bit help, because sometimes it can be hard to be a single mom in your country. I'm not a single mom, but I watch my kids every day, all the time, and sometimes I need a break. So I ask you that break for my husband. So for you, just try to make friends. Try to go on those immigrant offices, asking for advice and what they offer. And if you need a therapy, just ask for them. They can be able to offer you all of that.
Thank you so much for that. First of all, for people who are here you are also a YouTuber. So that is
Yes.
something people have to know.
Yes.
So I put your name of your YouTube channel here on the screen. People can be able to see and go to subscribe.
Yes.
And also at the same time, I'm going to put your channel on the comment, and the people will also be able, when I post the video, people will be able to see your channel and also be able to subscribe to your YouTube channel. So can you tell what do you do on your YouTube channel?
So I basically share different things. I do cookings. I share about what to expect coming into Canada. I just actually posted those videos not long ago. I'm planning to do travel. I'm planning to interview people that they are immigrants, that they can share their story. I'm planning to go and learn some culture and traditions. When COVID stopped and I can be able to do, my kids are still little, so when I can be able to do so, that's what I'm gonna do. I also share some of my trips, as well as just lifestyle in general too. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been watching some of your videos. They're very, very good. And there are things like, for instance, I read some of your tips about camping.
Yeah.
We are going to do our first camping this weekend, tomorrow, from Friday to Monday.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, okay. So I have some other questions to ask. Okay. For the life in Canada, there is the issue of the weather being that very cold. How was it when for you to go to Canada in your initial experience?
Come again. I didn't hear you. You are cutting off. Come it again with the
I
question,
say your
please.
initial experience of the weather in Canada.
Oh, I have to laugh about that first. So this is so funny. So I came in winter.
Oh,
Yes.
that was not the good time to go.
No, not at all. So, and the first time I got here, it was warm, not that cold. There was a little bit of sun. My husband got to show me a little bit of the city. And so anyways, short story, the first time it snowed, I had to take my sweater off and went outside to the park where we used to live a long time ago. There was a park just behind us. I had to go there and take my sweater off and just say, I'm feeling the snow, the really snow. Not on the movie. Just I'm feeling that cold and snow, and then I just put it either way. And the experience has been both, good and bad, because where I live it's very, very cold, and sometimes it can get too cold that you can't go outside, and that's where we come from. We usually stay outside a lot, so it's been challenging. I'm not used to it yet, but I'm loving it when it's not too cold. When it's cold, I'm loving. Too cold, I'm not loving it, but I enjoy the moment. And I just take as it comes. But it wasn't bad at all. Some days are bad, some days are good. Yeah.
Okay.
And my experience, actually, there is this story I should tell you.
Yes.
So the first time, my husband taught me skiing, like to the mountains. And I have my jacket that I bought from Kenya. Like, I think it's a winter jacket, a Kenya winter jacket.
No, that is not.
And I have my boots that I bought from Kenya as well. So here I am going, just thinking I'm warm. I have my scarf. For them it was in April that time. So for them it wasn't that cold. But for me, it was cold at that time. Yeah. And then when I got there, my husband went skiing. Of course, I had to wait him because I don't know how to ski. Where I was standing up with my shoes and my jacket, I was freezing. I could not feel my my legs. I had to go on the fire that they had and put my feet so I can feel it. But then I after that, I was like, you know what? Let me go inside in the restaurant and wait for him because this is not too fun for me. So anyways, that was kind of...
That is one of the mistakes. We come with those jackets, whatever. Those are not, most of them, they are not winter per se. Yes, you can get protected with the cold of Nairobi or Dar es Salaam, but it's not helping you with this.
No, not at all. And from that day, I asked him, my husband, actually my husband suggested, let's go do shopping and we can get you like a winter boots from here. So we had to go and find the winter boots.
When it comes to food, what type of food do you miss a lot is African food?
I would say the fish. I miss the fresh fish from the ocean. You just buy everything that it's organic, with ugali, of course. Ugali and fish. I miss that a lot. And just, I would say the daga. But I can get daga here.
But they are not the same. Like one person is going to send to me daga from Lake Tanganyika.
Who?
Daga from Lake Tanganyika, the sardine from Lake Tanganyika. So
speaking of Lake Tanganyika, sorry about that. I'm from Lake Tanganyika.
Where?
I want to surprise you.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I usually don't ask people like, oh, you're Tanzania. I usually don't ask specific which particular region, where have you been? I usually don't ask, but I didn't know that.
Yep. Yes, I am.
Now I have a sister over there.
Yeah, I wanted to surprise you. We talked. I was like, should I tell him? No, let me surprise him.
Yeah, so someone is going to send, is in Texas, is going to send to me some daga. So I'm waiting for those who want to make ugali.
Yeah, I get them from African store when I go. There is this one man, he's from Zanzibar, and he's been living here for years. So he has a shop that he sells, and he always brings daga, even migebuka. Sometimes he has migebuka,
That's good.
It's not as fresh as the one we eat from home.
But still, they are good because you get very, very,
Yes, it's something.
And I don't know.
Nothing.
Yeah, another related now to the food in Canada per se. I'm not so sure. For me, I'm very much picky, and maybe I didn't have much of exposure of certain type of food. Were you, before going to Canada, like used to eat most of the Western food, or you are open to test so many food? What is the food maybe you like most, which is Canadian food, or the food which up to now, no matter how many years you are going to stay there, you are not going to eat that food?
The first couple months, I would say even half a year when I got here, I was having a very difficult with food. I'm not gonna lie. I remember we had to go store after store. My husband was very patient. When I say impatient, I mean patient. So, we have Pacific matoke, like this is matoke you can cook, this you can't cook. Yes. And for my husband, it was like, it's green, it's plantains, and I was like, oh no, I don't need these ones. I need different ones. So we moved to another store to find those plantains that I wanted, which I was wanting, like a Uganda matoke. Yeah. And we find so we switched like 3 at least African store just to find some Pacific stuff that I would like to eat. So I basically was having hard time at the beginning to eat Canadian food or maybe international food, just because it wasn't taste okay for me. Even eggs, I couldn't stand eggs. So there is a time we had to go in organic store that they had most organic, and it was more similar to the food back home. But then organic food is very, very expensive.
Yes.
So I just basically use it for few months, and then I had to switch back to, typical grocery stores, just because the meat, even the eggs, the milk, like everything is very expensive. And my husband was like, how long are you gonna be eating organic foods? And I'm like, sure. And then so we kind of talk about, some of it can be organic and some of it can be just, artificial. So yeah, I've been since then I've been trying to eat different food, and now I'm eating it all mostly.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If someone is coming from Africa to Canada, let's say he's coming as either as an international student, or he got married, the spouse is Canadian, or he's African but he lives in Canada, or he's coming under the express entry, direct coming as permanent resident, what advice will you give to that particular person?
Sorry again?
What kind of advice is it to start the life will you give to brand new person from Africa coming to Canada?
I would say try to make as much friend as possible. I would say when you are allowed to work, try to find a job to work, so you can be able to provide. You can meet new friends, and then you can also socialize, and at the same time, you can be able to, just experience the work environment, because the work environment is different. It's way different than the work back home, and in that way, it's gonna help you to experience many things and a lot of new things that maybe when you're sitting at home you're not gonna be able to experience. Mostly, just try to make friends, because sometimes you need those friends to guide you in many situations that possible that it may come on your way. So you need to make as much new friends as possible. Try to not be inside a lot, because we are a lot inside in the West. So I think that's the advice I would give. Try to be humble, kind, and try to make as much friends as possible, and be open-minded too.
Okay, that's a very good advice, because you might come here and the culture is more indoor. You are starting sleeping, having depression. You don't know how to talk to. You do not know where the resources are.
Yes. That's true. Try to even go on the resource of immigrants, because they guide you in a lot of things that you maybe not know. They are right. Like, here there is a lot they offer as an immigrant. If you don't talk with people, do resource, go to immigrant resource. I'm struggling to pronounce that. Resource. It may be harder for you to know what are your rights sometimes. So if you talk with people, you may know more of your rights, especially, like, I would say, example, me as a person, after having kids, I stayed like 3 good years, maybe 3. I didn't know that you can get child benefits.
Wow.
By talking with people, like friends, that's what I knew, that, the kids get child benefits. So I would say try to talk with many people as possible, and that way you may get a lot of information on your rights. You know, like there is like a single mom. Let's go back to the single mom. I think like when you're a single mom and you are making under 50, maybe 50,000, you can get a lot of help from the government. So you can get like custody if your child is going on a daycare. You can get, I think there is money too you can get as a single mom. I'm not sure exactly how much it is, but you can get custody, and that custody, it's like 90% of childcare if you're making less than 50,000, I believe. So I personally didn't know all of that until I was talking to people. So I think if you are new and you are coming to live in Canada, try to find the resource and ask as much question as possible and try to make new friends. And so in that way, you're not going to be depressed, because sometimes you can be depressed when you're just alone in the house, especially when you have kids who driving nuts during the day.
That's why I usually make the videos during the night, because they are asleep, because otherwise it's a mess. They'll be here, they'll be there, it's another,
all over the place. Yes. Yeah.
Another question I wanted to know for you, especially with Canada experience. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you have been to any other Western country, like living there, like in Europe, or you just lived in experience in Canada.
Sorry again?
Have you lived in any country, maybe Europe before? Or
no, actually, the only country I've been in is East Africa, like Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda. I've been in Thailand too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only country that I've been. I mean, a lot of times in East Africa, I went multiple times. Like Kenya, I think I visit there. If it's not 7 times, it's more. Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Usually, when we come from completely different culture and come to these countries, it's vastly different. And how we start learning, starting looking for jobs, like we are completely going to the beginning stage.
Yeah.
Further. How do you tell someone to convince someone to continue to be positive? I believe before you came to Canada, you had your own life, job, and other things. You have to leave everything, and then you go to a country, despite with your degree and everything, you're going to start with, sometimes with most of the time, with general labor first. And going, how do you tell someone to continue to be positive in this kind of lifestyle?
I think I was already prepared for that. I lived beside, even when I was living in Tanzania, I was away from my parents for years. So I think I was already prepared. I was already prepared for, I was already out from my family. Even though you can drive and go see them, you can, even go, it doesn't take a long time as where I am. So I basically was already used to that, be away from my parents, but I didn't know, it's going to be this far that I can, go on a bus and go see them. I was already for this, but not ready. At first, it was very, very hard. I remember there was a time, I will cry when I have those homesick. But, pick up my phone and call my parents. And when I got here, I had very good support system of, my husband and his family. Sometime here and there we'll, meet up, and sometime I will kind of talk how much I miss my family, and they just kind of, encourage you to go through it, like just kind of encourage you in a positive way, that it gives you encouragement and energy of saying, oh, everything is okay. So I would say that when you come here and you're trying to find a job and be positive, if try to think, what would I be doing when I was home? What am I doing right now? What are the good things about being home? And what about the good thing about being in this new country? Is this everything that I have here? Is it worth it compared to where I was? Is it, not worth it? So I would say compare the life you're having at the moment and think where you came from. And think what it's gonna become, even if it might be different than your background. Like you may come from a rich family that you had everything in your table, but think about why are you there? Why are you in that new country? Can you achieve? Can you be strong and achieve your goal that brought you in that new country? In that way, it will help you to think positive way as possible, just because I know myself, I know being here is worth it. I have my family already here, I have the kids, without this country I couldn't have all of that I have right now. So I take that as my positive. And not only that, I think there is a lot of things that I wouldn't be able to get when I was in my country, but I have it now and I have it here. So I just think that way, it helps me to be positive and continue to enjoy every moment that I'm living here.
One more thing on that. How many hours in a 24 hours a day you speak Swahili? Because how many hours do you speak Swahili? Because most of the time you are surrounded with the English speaking community.
How many hours of what?
Do you speak English? I mean Swahili language? Because
I speak Swahili language.
Yes, so how many hours in a day do you have that opportunity? Do you have opportunity to speak Swahili language with other people?
Come again?
Do you have opportunity to speak Swahili language with others?
No, not at all. So actually, for me, it was very struggle when I came in with, English here is not the English that you may be able to understand. People goes very, very fast. And sometimes you have to put your ears. Actually, So at the beginning when I got here, sometimes people that would talk, and because they talk fast, I would just, oh, that's interesting. Oh, like I understand them, but I'm not. And then when they leave, I would go to my husband. What do they all mean when they were saying this? I didn't even understand. I was just saying, all right. Is that true? Oh, but I do not understand because they're going so fast. Well, I would tell them to repeat multiple times so I can be able to understand everything. And they were very patient enough to repeat the same time. So I would just say, sorry, what are you saying? Excuse me, what were you saying? So I'll just repeat the same, at least a couple of times and be able for me to respond. Even at workplace. So when my first job, I worked at the grocery store. And there is a time there will come people to ask me. I think my little one woke up, but Dad will go. So at the beginning, when I went to my first job, I worked at the grocery store. And, there is people will come and ask me, but thankfully I was already more catch up with the speed of the English. So it wasn't that bad. But there is a time someone will approach you and ask you a question, and you're like, especially when they're asking specific stuff that you don't even know, you're like, oh, would you mind asking that person? Like, so I would just give them direct to someone who may give them the right answer. And I was working at the time. I was just working like part-time, just because, when you have kids, you don't want to work and spend all the money that you're working on the care. So I picked the days that work for me, for my husband to look after the kids, so I can go to work. And after that, I think I had another job. So I basically had two jobs in law. Like, I had one, and then another one came behind. So I had to work two jobs at some point one time. Yeah.
Okay, that's very, very, very good. Yeah. Here, apart from just the English, when you come here, then you meet African American when they speak. When the Black Americans speak something, well, I was new. Are these people doing rap, or what are they saying? Like, because the only experience you have, you see when the rap song, you see how they rap, but that's how they talk. Like, the guy is talking to you. You just see them, they are laughing, and you have to laugh. The beginning was very interesting. Yeah.
You know what? Yes, it's the English people, they think it is not the same as it is. Even in workplace, you can have hard time to communicate. I remember sometime I was like, what? I kind of remember, but I don't really remember. What was it? Yes, that's what I meant. Like when they say, you understand, but to find the way to explain it, that will become challenge. And so sometimes I would just, if it's not like something that I have to respond, I would just say, oh yeah, oh really? But now I'm good. Now I can understand more.
I don't know. Here, I mean, in US, I believe it might be also similar to Canada. So your in-laws don't want to be called like mother and father.
Yeah.
They want to be addressed as they want to be addressed as direct as their names.
Yeah, as their names.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is something a little bit different. Like for me, like it was something like kind of like when I went to my in-laws, like, call me Bob. I will never call you Bob.
You're like,
call me Janet. Just no. So until like after the first 2 years, I never called their name. So if I want to talk to them, I have to find a way to go in front of their face. And for them, they don't want to be called mother or father. Say no. So when the child was born, so we started calling grandpa and grandma. That became easy that way.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know, for your case, how is it? Like, how do you address them?
So for me, my mother-in-law, she's the sweetest human being. She's so wonderful. And she's been wonderful to me even before I met her. So it wasn't a problem for her. Like, I would just call mama. So like even today, after we had kids, I had to call her baby. But even at the beginning, before kids, she didn't have any problem me calling her mama. So I basically was mama, like just mama. I never called her Mary. I don't remember saying by her name.
Here they say,
I don't remember.
Okay, the ones that call our names, like, I will never call you a name. I told them that is difficult for me, just to call my father-in-law, just, and first of all, their first name. Say
yes.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I never. My mother-in-law, I've been calling her mama before even I met her as well. Even my father-in-law, because they give him his name Babu, even before he was Babu, just because he was in Tanzania and some people are calling him Babu. You know, back home, whatever, if you are old, they will always call you Babu. So he came with that name. Even before we had kids, I would usually just call him Babu. So basically, if I call him by his name, it's just like kind of teasing or joking, you know, but it's not like calling him. You know, like at the beginning, I was just calling him Babu just because he was got that name already.
Okay. That's going to know. Yeah. So I think we have almost 40 minutes. I've been shooting you a lot of questions. Yeah. So I want to give you the opportunity now to ask me any questions you have.
Okay. So because for me, it's my first interview, I wrote them down.
No problem at all.
I want you to tell, I'm sure people in my channel that they don't know you, they would like to know what your name and where you are original from and where are you right now.
Okay, so my name is Ernest.